in China. Uh, about something about my experience. I went to China through a Brazilian government program, Science Without Borders, well known like Ciências Sem Fronteiras. I spent 2 years in China. In the first year, I studied. I was there only studying Chinese. I lived in Wuhan, so I studied Chinese in Wuhan. And one nice thing is that all my classmates, they're all Brazilian and they're all in the same program, CSF, Science Without Borders. One of the main challenges of go to China for me was the first one was the language, because I had to learn a new language, and the ideograms like this, we call it Hanzi.
Wait,
The other
I'm
thing
not
was
seeing the presentation, man. I'm so sorry. I seen the PowerPoint, but not the presentation itself.
presentation.
Just the first.
Yeah, I was just seeing
Just the
the.
first.
Mhm.
Mm,
Maybe if you share, you create the presentation and you share the presentation.
mm,
Okay, now it's all right.
okay. The first challenge was the language, and because I had to learn like a new language, and the Chinese they write different from us, and I had to learn how to write and read this Hanzi. It's like how Chinese write. The second was the food. Really at first, because it was really hard at the beginning to order food because we don't know how to read and neither how to speak. So it was a really hard situation. And one main challenge was the culture, because it's completely different from Brazilian and Western culture, and the distance, because I was so far from home. And during the program, Ciência Fronteiras, I could return to Brazil. I need to spend like these 2 years in China. And I was becoming Chinese. I got a real Chinese name. My teacher gave all my classmates real Chinese name. Mine was Fei Xi Wu. She told us like, you don't have Chinese face, so I want you to have a real Chinese name, because it's really common to foreign people in China. They had like name uh, close to the sound. So like Louis is close to Louis C. So all the Louis calls Louis C. But Louis C is not a real Chinese name. So when Chinese people read or heard the name, they already know that he's not Chinese. So she gave me a real Chinese name. I passed in the HSK4 exams. I need to pass to go to my second year in university. I need to study and learn and know how to write and the meaning of almost like 1,200 characters. And the second year, I moved to Beijing to study chemical engineering. And one thing, like people always ask me, is really is learning Chinese really hard? And yes, it's hard, but not that hard. The most for me, like the hardest part is to understand like this. You see this, you need to learn that this you read Zhong, and this you read Guo, and this means China. Like when you learn English, you just know how characters or characters means caracteres, or China means China. You only do this. And Chinese, you need to learn how to read and write this kind of thing. So this is the hardest part for me. Another one hardest part was the tonal language, because if we say like good morning, oh good morning, oh good morning, it doesn't have like any difference. But in Chinese, they have like a huge difference. You know, this is in Chinese they have four tonal language. So this is the first one. It means ma, is like regular, and this is how it's written and means mother. But if I say ma in the second tone, like it's raising, like the accent is raising, like ma. This is how to write change, and this means hemp. So it's a little bit different. But the third tone means like ma. You decrease and raise the sound means horse. So you can select you're calling your mother. You can call her a horse. So and the fourth tones, like your only decrease ma. It means curse. So this is like the biggest difference and the hardest part for me. And they also have like the neutral tone. It's a kind of fifth tone, but it's close to the first one. And this is like an example of a tone that you can use for questions. So like you have like five different sounds meaning five different things. It's a little bit hard for me. And the grammar differences because the grammar in Chinese is not as hard that in Portuguese or even English because they don't have like any verb conjugations, any gender or plural. And they don't like you can understand like if it's the past or the future only by the verb. And the sentence it's like a little bit unfamiliar for us because, for example, if I want to say like I eat an apple at school every yesterday, I need this is how it says like 我昨天在学校吃苹果. This is like how you need to write. But if you translate word by word, you need to like this means 我 means I need to put the time at the beginning of the phrase because they don't conjugate verbs. So to understand when this is happening, the time it's in the beginning. Like 昨天 means yesterday. Sei special the place at school. It means and true, and then the verb. This is true means eat, and then home pingua means red apple. So it's a little bit different than for us like we used to have the verb at the beginning of the phrase, and if you say the verb at the beginning it's really sounds weird for Chinese people. So I need to understand and use this kind of structure. But in Chinese some things are easy because they have like a really logical structure. Like this mean tian bao. Tian means money and bao means purse. So tian bao means
Money, a wallet.
a wallet.
Uh,
So it's really simple. This kind of thing. So maybe like you don't know exactly the word, but you can understand like the meaning and suppose that the word is this. So it's funny how to learn some words that's like this. So it's becoming easy. And what about the food is another question that people made me a lot. Like everyone thinks that in China people eats dog, they eat like animal, and this is really special food. Like it's only in one province in China they eat dogs. In the other, it's like in the other cities and the other provinces they don't eat dogs, for example. It's nice because it's one curiosity. In China, they have eight major culinary foods, and they're completely different from each other. So we always think like, oh, Chinese food is like Chinese in box. No, it's completely different. They are a huge country. They have different kinds of foods, and they are different between them. All the plates they try to most of the plates they try to make a good mixture of sweet, salty, spicy, umami, and sour. So in many plates, you can feel these flavors. It's nice because it's a complex flavor. And the main protein is not the dog, like everything. It's pork. It's pork in Portuguese. Sorry, it's pork. They call juro. So when we means like meat in Brazil, we always thinking about cow, but in China, when you say meat, it's always pork. It's difference, and this is some of the iconic dishes that I tasted in China that I really like it. This is Peking duck. You can say Beijing Kaoya. It's like a wrap, and you can put like the duck. They are sliced and the cucumber and a sauce, and you put in the wrap, and you like wrap it, and you can eat. This is it's called xiaolong bao. This is like a kind of dumpling, but you find it most in Shanghai, like in the cities, like because they really like dumplings, and there's many kind of dumplings. Each one has the specific name, but we all we only call it dumpling. And this is like hua guo or hodgepodge. I don't know if you have already tasted, but it's really I really like it. It's a kind of soup. There's a liquid inside with flavor. This red one maybe spice flavor, and the other one maybe is like mushroom flavors. And you have vegetables and meat sliced very thin, and you just throw in this pot and start wait for a second, and it will boil and it will cook, and you can eat. So it's really nice. It's a kind of a fondue of soup. So it's really nice. I didn't like food soup, but this plate I really like it. But the most of my favorite dishes in China is like this: a sweet and sour pork. Uh, this is you can find in Brazil easily. Maybe like in Chinese restaurant, it's easy to find. But in Brazil, they put uh, pineapples and peppers in this plate. I don't like. I prefer like the original version. The dumplings called jiaozi. I really like it. Every time I go to a Japanese restaurant, I order this because it's one of my favorite. But I prefer Chinese one because the pasta. It's not pasta. How can I say
Like the sauce, or you mean
like a massa?
the pasta?
The pasta is thinning, then you find in Brazil, and this is like it's called Richard Grossi. They don't have like any translation name, but I think it's very delicious because it has like all the flavors in one plate, and the taste is a little bit complex. And this black one is a mushroom. I never found it in Brazil. I only find it like in China, and I really like this mushroom. It seems like disgusting, but it's really tasteful. And another question, like, oh, if I want to China, where do I go? Where do I can go to China? All these places I have already been. So the first one is Terracotta Army. It's in Xi'an, is the center of China. I don't know if you heard about that, but an ancient emperor, when he died, he asked they to build like a lot of men to guide him to the other life, and they found it a long time before. They didn't know about this, and this is really nice structure. And also in China, they have a lot of good views. This is one of I've been like Jianjiajie, as this is a forest, and like the movie Avatar, not the Avatar, the Land of Aang, but the other Avatar, the real movie. You can see like the mountains floating, and this kind of view was inspired in this national park, because when it's like a little bit foggy, you can see like the base of the rock. You can only see the top, and it's like it seems like they're floating. This is a really nice place. This is Zhoujiaigou Valley. It's another place in China. It's close to Chengdu, and it's close to the beginning of the mountains of Everest. So it's a really high place, and this is a really beautiful view. I think that's the most beautiful place with natural beauty that I have already been in my life. And in also this is one of it's called Guilin. And I don't know if you have already watched Dragon Ball, the cartoon, the anime, and this is like all the views is inspired in this place, and they have a lot of rice. They plant rice. It's a really nice place, and also like They have like this natural beauties, and they also have like big cities with a lot of things. Now this is one is Beijing. I lived there for 1 year, and this is like different kinds of things you can see, like the modern part of China, and also the ancient part of China. And you can see like the Greatest Wall, the Forbidden City, the bird nest that the Olympic Games happened here. And also you can go to Shanghai, that's like a huge city with a lot of people, and also it has like the modern part and the old part, like and people goes there. It's nice, like you are like in this old part that reminds you of ancient China, and you also have the modern China. So it is. Thank you, guys.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Fantastic.
Any doubts?
Yes, I have. Do you guys want to ask first?